Hi, Scrapping Gals here. So today we thought we'd show you how to make these cute little bags right here using the We Are Memory Keepers punch board for bags. Here's what it looks like. We're going to show you how to do a bag using an 8.5 by 11, so you wouldn't need to do any trimming. You will need to use a scoreboard though. So there's a couple different ways that we ended up doing the ribbon based on the way it was that they show you how to punch it. That's what this would be, where you actually feed it in and out of the ribbon. Here, let me get closer. So you actually feed the ribbon in and out of the holes in the bag and then tie it together. And if you decided you didn't want to do that, if you wanted to use no holes, you could use no holes and just fold it over. This one, what I did was I freehanded and I just punched on the four corners, and I didn't do any on the side, so it's just on the four corners, and then I just put it together like that. And then this one here, we tied the ribbon to the side and the front on both corners, so it looks like that. So we'll be back to show you how to make the bag. So in order to make the cute little gift bags, the first thing you're going to need is the We Are Memory Keepers punch board that is for gift bags. Here's what it actually looks like. It has two pieces to it. Now we're going to do a little bit longer bag, so we also are going to need a score pal. We're going to need, well, actually for the one we're doing, we don't need a trimmer, but for most of them, you're going to need a trimmer and you won't be using this. But we wanted to show you how to make a long one. Normally you would just make it the width of this, and that's where you would trim it to. And that's actually 7.5 inches. But we're going to go ahead and leave it at 8.5 inches, which is what our paper is. We're going to use a standard sheet of paper. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, adhesive, and some ribbon. And if you wanted to punch your own holes and not do the holes that they do here, like some of the bags we showed you at the beginning, you would need a hole punch. But for the one we're doing right now, we're not going to need these two. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to orientate the page so that the 11 inches is this way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to line up, there's a yellow line right here, and you want to line up this very edge right on that line, and then you're going to push this button here. And that's going to make a cut in it. And then you want to use your scoring tool, and you're going to score where it says horizontal. Now we're going to be making a medium bag. 10 inches width is a small bag, 11 inch width is a medium bag, 12 inch width is a large bag. So we're using an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, so we'll be doing a medium bag. So we're going to score at the M. So let me turn this around. It's be a little easier for me to score it here. Score at the M, and it'll only go so far down, and that's why we need the other score pal that we'll use at the end. Then what you want to do, where you did the score, you want to move this over so that your score line is now lined up where originally this edge was, right at this little point right here. And then that's where you're going to punch again. And now you're going to see where this says side. You want to do that. You want to make a score there, and you also want to make a score right here. So let me turn that around. So we'll do the side one. And then the middle one. And then the other thing you need to do is you need to follow along this triangle. So you want to do a score here and a score here. And then again up at the top, I don't know if you could see this when I did it the first time, but up at the top there's a little opening right here. And that's where you do your horizontal. So you just follow that across. Kind of lift that up so you can see that. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to move where it says side, the line that you just made at the side, and line that up to where that little punch part is. So bring that over, line it up where that little point is, and then punch. And now we're going to go back and repeat the first step that we did. So the first step we did was the medium. So let me get back and do the medium and your horizontal. Okay, now you want to bring this line over to that punch part again, and you're going to punch. And on this one, now we're going to do the side and the middle and the triangle and the horizontal again. And then that's the basic part. Now, if you notice on this one, it only scores part of it. It doesn't score the end. That's fine. When you use your bone folder, it'll all work out. So now, because I'm doing this longer, my options are I could just do it with the bone folder, or I can take a score pal or a scoring board, and I can just finish these lines, just follow where they were. It's a little easier to see on the back side. And you can just match them up. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to fold each one down and use your bone folder to get a nice sharp. And you won't be able to do the ones in the center that had the triangle because this tab won't crease. So you just do the main ones. And then this little one at the very end, this tab one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, and on this tab part right here, oh, forgot one little step here, sorry. So this last fold here, after I did this where I cut it, you actually needed to go down to this last fold line and do one more punch so that you have a complete tab at the end. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to go and cut this little tab part, just cut off some of the edges, just like that. So if you didn't want to have holes in your bag, you pretty much would be ready to make the bag. So you would just fold these in, tape it down, and you would have your bag. Now, if you want to do the hole punch, then you need to do this part before you fold it and tape your bag down. So on the back, there's a little line right there, and there's hole puncher inside there. So what you have to do is you line up with the tab being at this end and your first strip, your very first cut at this end. Line up the cut and then push, and then you're going to go down to the next score line, line it up, and punch. Now the next score line you skip, and then you go to the one after it and do it again. The next score line you're going to do again. The next one you skip and you do the last one. And that'll give you the proper placement for your hole punch. And then what you want to do is you're going to start putting your adhesive on. So we're going to have adhesive here and here on the tab. On the bottom pieces, the two little ones, you want to put adhesive and then flip it over. And on the two large tabs, these ones, you're going to put adhesive. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this little tab, fold it in, and then bring your paper over to meet up with it, and then just run your bone folder over it so that it stays nice and tight. And then you want to fold the two little ones in, then the two big ones in over the top, and then set your bag down and just put your hand in there and make sure all the tape is in there good. And then if you want to put ribbon, you have your holes up here. You can either put the ribbon to close it completely. You can put the ribbon around it like how we showed you on the orange one. You could just put it in the front. You could do like we did on the pink bag where we put the ribbon through the first two on each one. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can configure ribbon. If you didn't want the ribbon, you don't have to punch the holes, and you could just fold it over like the other bag that we had. So that's it for the basic bag configuration. So I thought I'd show you how to do the basic ribbon pattern the way I did it. So feed it through this first hole here, and then go back out from behind on the hole on the side. And then go back through the other hole on the side. Go back out the hole in the front. Leave a little bit of room. This ribbon, unfortunately, is very tiny. So go back in through that first hole, back out through the side, back in through the other side. And then back through the back. And then you would tie these together. And then just adjust how much slack you have in the back and the front. And if you didn't want to see this, you could push it back through the hole, and then it would be inside the bag and you wouldn't actually see where you tied it. And that's it. So that's it for this tutorial. We'll see you next time. Bye.